Hi, Sean Walker today, Walker Tong D boats. Show my kids how to sand again. And you might recall this piece of fiberglass mold here. We joined it together and I sprayed gel coat on it, and now we're sanding the gel coat down with 320 grit sandpaper. And I come across a sanding method here to sand the gel coat, and I thought I'd share it with you. So you might be familiar with sign board. It's this groovy kind of material here. They use it to make signs they put up for political reasons and that kind of thing, or just any sign whatsoever. And I decided to use that for a sanding block. And so what I simply do is I take this stuff and I glue using super glue. I glue this little handle on it, and then I glue the sandpaper on it, just like you see here. Now there's two ways you can do it, depending on if you want it flexible or not. If you don't want it flexible, you glue it this way. So those little grooves, I don't know if you see them there. There's little grooves there. So they're running in one direction. So if you want it to be stiff, you do it so the grooves are running this way. That way when you push down on it, you're not going to get a bend, much of a bend to it. You'll get a little bit, but you won't get much of it. Makes it stronger across this way where my finger's running. And if you want it to be flexible, like this one here, I've been experimenting with it. Now this one here, for instance, will bend. You can see it'll bend a curve in it. So when I get in here and I can sand inside that groove there. I tried first with sandpaper and the cardboard, but it didn't work, so now I got sandpaper and the sign board. And it works really well. Well, I got here, let me show you another tip about sanding. This is the old school way of doing it. You got a bucket here, put your sandpaper in it, you sand away, you go back and forth, and what you end up doing is reintroducing grit from the bucket, the cleaning bucket, back onto your workpiece. And that's no good. So what you do is you spray it down, get it nice and wet, then you do your sanding, and when you think you want to look at the pieces and check it out and see how it is, you wipe it off. Now when you wipe it off, it's only going to take a minute or so. Here it's hot, it's 90 degrees. And you can put a fan on here, and you can have a switch on the fan, and you can turn the fan on when you need it so it's not blowing dust around. But it's only going to take like a minute here. You can see it's drying out already. Then you find out where you need more sanding, you do the sanding, and of course you go to progressively higher number grits until you get the fine finish you need. Then you go to rubbing compound, then you go to polishing compound, and then you polish the whole mold out, including this groove, and you got a finished mold. So that's basically it. If you want to know how to sand a mold, that's the way she goes. And I'm developing a sanding method, and I'll give you more tips as I go along. And hey, whatever you do, don't forget to have that fun.